Okay, video ended on me right at the end, so I might get coughed a little bit. So what I was just saying is sometimes you can try to manipulate this to get it to fit. You'll actually notice that what's going on here is you can change its height, but you can't change its width to fit. So, like one thing that you could do is, you could set up your mullion system so that, and if I drag this, that it does fit inside. You can see where it starts to fit a little bit, but you can get the actual dimension and make it, and size the mullion spacing so it fits. And then you can see how this one is stretched out a little bit, like to the back. If you click on that and say that this is 4 inches, it starts to fit it a little bit better. And then if you go back into the edit family and you go to the floor plan, you'll actually notice that its width, half of its width is 2, 8, and 3/4. So that's double that, and that's what your full width would be for the actual system. Now you can see here, and this is how families are. This is why it's hard to create families, because everything's done with reference lines. So it comes in with dimensions and everything, and so you can change the height, and it'll change on its own. Depending on the height of your grid and everything like that. So like if you tried to move, like say this reference line over to kind of make it smaller, you can see that you'd have to remove constraints and it may mess everything up. So sometimes actually editing the thing will not work too well. But like, so what it's set up with those reference lines is like, say if I delete this mullion, if I delete this, or actually let me remove this. Yeah. So like it can start to, and that's because I already I was playing around with it before and I messed up what it already was, so it messed up the whole thing. But the way that it's set up is it knows to populate this, so it actually does, and that's how with the reference lines and everything's like that. So that's why editing it sometimes can mess it up, so it doesn't come in properly. So that's something that you just have to be careful of. And try to get around if there was a way. And then, like I said, if you can't, I would never try to spend too much time on something like this. If you can't get it to go, either try to find something else or just model. Use the component in place, uh, model in place, and if you don't know how to do that, you can follow the tutorial that I created for that. So you can kind of create your own. I'm gonna download one more. Just to try to find something maybe that I can edit. I'll find an interesting table. We'll do this one, I guess. Close enough. So again, I don't know what this table is going to come in as. So I'm going to load it first. I'm going to go to Insert tab and load family. So I can just generically load a family. And I'm going to load that table. So now I'm going to go to the component place to see if that's where it comes in, and that's where it is coming in. So I'm going to put it somewhere. So now that's that table. Kind of looks like it's a picnic table or something like that you see outdoors. Um, so now if I click on this, we can see what kind of properties it has. Not really much to this. If I edit its type, you can see, so this one, it has the material there that you can change, if you needed to. And then something like this, you can't use the paint function to paint on it. So now if you go to edit its family, you can see that these are kind of like different extrusions. Well, actually, these are actually separate family parts as well. So you can see here, if you click on these and go to edit family, it's another family part that you can click on, and you can see the actual wood type to it. So that's kind of weird, but it's there. So you can see like all the different things that there are, the legs and everything like that. So that's the table, and then like if you wanted to manipulate it, you could start to. Let's see. I don't think this is going to work because um, they did it with other family. Like it's basically, so these little pieces here that you see all around are basically families within another family, so it can get confusing. So I don't think this void will work if I do it, but we'll find out. Yeah, it's not cut through anything. Um, let's see if they have like a vertical void. No. But what I can do is I can actually click on this. So you can see that there's like, so this is 6, this one's 7, 5. So if I click on 5, or for instance, see that like this circle hole that I have there, maybe I want it to be bigger. So if I wanted to edit this family, I can actually take out these. Oops. And delete those. And then I can load it into the project and make sure whatever project I'm working on, it comes in as that. And then I'd override existing version and parameters. So now I can start to edit it. So like if I wanted to put an umbrella in there or something like that, you can start to edit it and kind of make it your own kind of family. So this is what I meant by in a previous tutorial saying that you can find a Revit family and then maybe edit it a little bit to kind of get what you want. The other thing I could do is once I'm back in that family, I can click on this, which is a separate family file, which is 5, and say I want this to have a unique edge to it. I can edit the family, and I can edit the extrusion, and I'm just going to do something crazy. Do like a quick spline. Do this first. Then do the spline. And then I would load this into the table family. So I'm loading this back in. I'd overwrite it. And then you can see it gives it a crazy shape. Kind of starts to look like the table that's in the library. That's made out of the tree and has the crazy shape to it. And then I would load it into the project that I'm working on and override. And then now you start to get a kind of unique looking table that you may have wanted. Or if this is the table that you want, but you want it to have that kind of unique look to it, then you can start to edit it yourself and do different things with it. Maybe there's too many supports down here, so you want to take out some of the supports. Or you can do that crazy shape that I did here to the bench or whatever, the seating. So there's different things, and that's kind of like all I'll show. Because there's many things that I could keep downloading family files and show you different things and many different options. It's just something that you have to kind of, once you download something, if it's not what you want, you actually first thing you gotta do is open it and see what's going on and to see if it's editable, and you can change it minorly without kind of messing anything up. And then just since a lot of you are probably new to Revit, just be careful if it's a family within a family. So like as I mentioned, this table is actually made up of different families. So in essence, it's like your kiosk design, where so say if this was your kiosk, each component of your kiosk would be created using a family, and then another family would be created for that kiosk. That would you'd bring in all the other parts as families. So you'd have multiple families making up a bigger family that you can bring into a project file, for a building design. So it's kind of crazy when it gets down to it. But you can see basically these are all different parts that are made up of different families that were brought in, to this one. And then you can see this is they brought in one and then arrayed it around in a circle. So there's just different things that you have to look out for. But that's pretty much how you can start to work with Revit families. Mainly, you just got to be careful when you load them in, what kind of family type they are. So always insert them using the load family through the insert tab first, so that it comes in, and then you can try to find what type of family it is. And then, as I mentioned, if you can't, what I did for the screen one, you can always just open it, and it's then find what family it is. So now you can find out how you actually have to insert it and use the actual family itself. And that's it for this tutorial.